OpenAI just dropped their latest image generator, GPT Image 1.5, and this is incredibly powerful. So in this video, I'm going to test the hell out of it and compare it to the current king of AI image generation, Nano Banana Pro, so you can see which is better. First of all, here's their official announcement page, and as you can see, this is very similar to Nano Banana. You can take an image of anyone and edit that image further, but all of these examples are kind of easy. We already have other competitors that can do this already, like Nano Banana Pro. So, let's start off by testing the hell out of GPT Image 1.5 with some way more trickier examples. Open ChatGPT, select Create Image, and I'm pasting my prompt, make a 4x4 grid featuring the Pokémon with these Pokédex numbers. And then I've added 16 random numbers, and here's what I got from GPT Image 5 on the left plus Nano Banana Pro on the right. And actually, both of them are able to understand all these Pokémon, which is already pretty impressive. And I would have to say that Nano Banana Pro renders the Pokémon a bit better than GPT Image 5. For example, for Golbat and Pidgeotto, these just look a lot better than what I got from GPT 5. You can see that something looks off with these two generations. Same with like this Pokémon over here. Now we start to see some discrepancies with this one, which is number 301. So let me actually double-check my Pokédex and search for number 301. It's rendering this in purple, but here it's making it pink. Plus, the patterns on its neck are a bit different. So Nano Banana Pro got this more accurately, whereas for GPT, it's kind of making this stuff up. Winner, Nano Banana Pro. Test 2. Here's another tricky example, testing how good it is at rendering expressions and emotions. So here I'm going to prompt it with a 4x4 grid of a young female with these emotions from left to right and then top to bottom. We have happiness, awe, enthusiasm, confidence, sadness, jealousy, irritation, embarrassment, surprise, confusion, nostalgia, fear, love, relief, pride, and anticipation. Some of these expressions are pretty tricky, so let's see how both these image models do. For GPT Image 1.5, happiness looks good. Awe also looks good. The top row looks pretty good. It does convey the expressions. And then for the second row, it also looks pretty good. She does look like the specified emotion. And then for the third row, this also looks really good. It conveys the emotions perfectly. Some of these are really tricky, like relief or anticipation or nostalgia or confidence or jealousy, but it's actually able to convey all of these emotions very accurately. And then for Nano Banana Pro, let's see. For confidence, I wouldn't say she looks too confident in this shot. Same with awe here, she doesn't look too a ruck. And then for the second row, this looks pretty good. For the third row, nostalgia looks kind of strange. And then for the last row, pride and anticipation also look kind of strange. Winner, GPT Image 1.5. Test 3. Now, like I said, all the image editors out there can already micro-edit an image, such as changing a person's hair or clothing, or changing the angle of a photo. So let's try something trickier. I'm going to upload this image, and let's get it to put this image into 4 separate quadrants. For the first quadrant, it's going to be an infrared thermal map. The second quadrant is going to be a segmentation map. The third one is a depth map, and the fourth one is going to be the same photo, but we invert the colors. All right, so here's what we got from both image generators. Let's look at GPT Image first. For the infrared thermal map, it does seem to get this correct. So indeed, her skin should be the warmest in this photo, followed by, I guess, her clothing and sofa because she's touching it. And then the background should be a lot cooler. So the first quadrant is correct. For the second one, this is kind of a segmentation map. It doesn't look great, but I guess it's a pass. And then for the third one, this is a depth map, but I wouldn't say it's too accurate. And then for the fourth one, let me invert the colors. And you can see this is not accurate. It's close, but it's not quite the original photo. Now next, let's look at Nano Banana Pro. You can see it's also really good with this infrared thermal map. Same with the segmentation map. This looks a lot better than GPT's generation. Same with this depth map. You can see that the background is a lot farther away than the stuff here. Whereas for GPT, it didn't really convey this accurately. Test 4. Next up, I also fed it a really tricky prompt, which so far not even Nano Banana Pro could get correct. So it's got to be 11:15 on a clock and a wine glass filled to the top. For GPT Image 1.5, it got both nearly correct. And this is the best render of a clock showing 11:15 that I've seen so far. And I guess one minor error, and this glass is not filled to the top. Here is Nano Banana Pro's generation. The glass is not filled correctly, and 11:15 is also wrong, so the hour hand should be slightly past 11 instead of right on 11. Winner is GPT Image 1.5. Next, I want to test its understanding of some real-world stuff, so I asked it to make a grid of the 4 rarest frogs in the world with their scientific name and short description at the bottom of each photo. So here is the generation from GPT Image 1.5. I actually don't know any of these frogs. This is correct. Second and third is also correct, and their scientific names are also correct. Next, let's check out Nano Banana Pro's generation. So interestingly, it gave me 4 completely different frog species. Let's fact-check the first one, which looks like this. And this is critically endangered, so from an initial glance, this does seem to look correct. Next, let me fact-check this one, which does look like this. Very interesting. However, if I check the Wikipedia page, this one is not even like critically endangered. So this is not among the rarest frog species out there. Nano Banana got like 3, and out of 4 wrong. Winner, tie, though both struggled with this extremely difficult prompt. Test 6. I also wanted to see if it can colorize manga and translate it to Hindi. So here is the original manga page. Here's what I got from GPT Image 1.5. As you can see, it looks too good, and Hindi text is also correct. So overall, it's good attempt. Whereas, if you look at Nano Banana Pro, it actually left some words to translation correctly. So, in this instance, I would have to give the point to ChatGPT. Next, let's test out how good it is at generating existing people. So, we have Shruq Khan, Jackie Chan, Taylor Swift, Tom Hanks, The Rock, the Michael Jackson, Mukesh Ambani, Blackpink, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Elon Musk taking a group photo, and get them to take a group photo. Now, to my disappointment, GPT won't actually let me generate this. I tried regenerating this a few times. I tried removing some characters, but still it wouldn't let me generate this photo. But for Nano Banana Pro, it absolutely aced all these characters. I mean, you can clearly identify all the people I specified in this photo.